Yo, what up, man? Listen, it is Sunday, guys. I hope you are having a blessed Sunday. Man, I want to touch on a quick video. Statement date versus your due date. This is super important when it comes to your credit cards, right? Your statement date versus your due date. Let's break both of those down and get a good understanding on the differences and how they actually affect your credit, right? So, number one, your statement date. Your statement date is the date that your credit card statement is actually available or mailed to you, right? So, say for instance, you owe a balance of $100. You do not pay that $100 off before your statement date. Once you receive your statement, it will show that you have $100 balance on your Capital One credit card, for instance, right? Now, let's say your due date. Your due date is the minimum day that payments can be made towards your actual credit card, right? So if your due date is the first of the month, your minimum payment will be due by the first of the month. Your statement date is typically a week or two before your due date. Now, if you do not know your statement date, if you have a credit card, if you are new to having credit cards, and you do not know your statement date, you can actually call up your lender and ask them what is your statement date. Your statement date or your statement closing date, which is another term that it's referred to as, is actually also available on your credit card statement. So every month when you receive your monthly statement, that date is actually available on there. But if you just actually want to call and you want to speak to a representative, they will give you your statement date as well. This is super important, right? Because you hear the term utilization. This is why this is important, right? We talk about utilization. We talk about making payments on time. We talk about keeping our credit below 30%, right? So let's say, for instance, for a quick example, you have a credit card, right? Which I do not recommend this, right? Excuse me. But you max out the credit card. Let's say you have a limit of $1,000. You spend $1,000 on that credit card, but you pay that $1,000 back before you receive your statement date. Your credit card is not going to show 100% utilization maxed out because you made that payment before your statement date was available. This is why your statement date is important. Now, we all know our due date is important in order for us to avoid late payments. If we do not make a payment by our due date, not only will we incur late charges, but also 30 days past due, that account will report to the credit bureaus and will drop your credit score. The crazy thing about it is one late payment can tremendously drop your actual credit score, guys. So it's important for us to understand our statement date. It's important for us to understand our due date as well. Like I said, if you do not know, if you are not sure, call up your lender, check out your credit card statement. That information will be available. If you have multiple credit cards, you can do the same for each credit card. If you have Capital One, if you have Discover, if you have Wells Fargo, you can call up each of these lenders to get your statement date. And it's also, we already know, it's important for us to know our due date so that we make sure we are making on-time payments, man. So that is all I really wanted to share with you guys. I hope you understand the difference between the statement date, due date, why they are both important. If you learned something from this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace. Happy Sunday.